Welcome back to Third Coast Podcast. We back in the building. We had a mishap. We did record yesterday, but the P4 didn't take the audio for some unknown reason. So we factory reset. We got a new SD card, line Loomis up for this coming up Monday, and we're going to do the same thing again so y'all can hear it. But got some cool stuff lined up for today. Got a call-in interview with Mr. Daniel Stark and Kyle Simpson. And I just want to take a time to thank all the listeners out there for listening to the show, being a part of the show, all the guests, friends, family, what have you. As y'all can't see this paper because of my bad handwriting, you already probably be like, man, gotta listen to Joe say and stutter all the time and mispronounce words. But I am getting better. Kobe's still on the boat, and we're doing this. We do have a little bit of a time frame today. Got stuff going on with the Bambinos got to take care of. Always hydrate. It is getting hot out there. Drink you plenty of water. There's always time for brews later. And of course, I'd get the one water bottle that does not want to stand up and be nice and cohesive for the table. But I want to introduce the two people that will be joining us on the show. Daniel Stark, director of photography, editor at Open Heart Productions. Kyle Simpson, he played the lead role in the Bogman Movie as Charles Williams. He is the lead editor at Open Heart Production and post-production manager at Open Heart Production, and writes his own music too. And the Bogman Movie is available to be streamed on Tubi, Amazon Prime Video, and YouTube. Make sure that y'all go and check out the Bogman. Give all of our collectives a good stream and a like and a positive comment. It go a long way. You'll be surprised. So, without further ado, let's see if I can get this to work today. Everything, I don't know, it just seems like stuff always don't want to work right. Especially like yesterday. That was such good content. We covered so many good things. But at the end of the day, Loomis was like, it's fine. We'll just do it again and we'll make it better than what it was. That what didn't get out there. But always check your gear, and sometimes your gear fails. That just is part of being content creators, musicians, artists, what have you. Stuff happens. Got to move on. Got to keep going. Can't cry over spilt milk or whatever the old people say. But let's see if this works. Turn up the volume. Okay, let's try this one more time. See if it works this time. Oh, got some ringing.
Hello.
Hey, how y'all doing this afternoon?
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Oh, good. Always good. I'm speaking to Mr. Daniel right now.
Yeah, this is Daniel.
Oh, all right. Welcome to the show. I had a little technical difficulties, but now I'm on. Got it going now.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw you call the first time, and by the time my hand was getting to the phone, it lost the call. So I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Let me call one shot. You know.
No. It
I'll go
didn't.
back to sweeping the floor.
It didn't register on my side, so I had to stop my recording, get it going, test it, and then call y'all again. Like I said, my P4 has been my recording. P4 Zoom has been giving me a lot of problems recently. I mean, we've recorded on it for years, but I guess it might be time for an upgrade.
Yeah, I heard those are pretty good recorders. I've thought about buying one.
Oh, they're amazing. I ain't had a problem till yesterday when I lost it. It recorded, then stopped, but I factory reset it, put a new SIMS card in, so we should be good to go.
Awesome. Sounds good, man.
So how are you doing this afternoon? In Monroe, right?
Yes, sir. Well, we're in West Monroe.
West Monroe?
Yeah, it's two cities. They call it the Twin Cities. It's divided by the Ouachita River. Monroe's on the east side, and West Monroe's on the west side. And they had some so I work in West Monroe, and I live in Monroe, but they're pretty much always the same city to me, honestly. I treat them like such. They just got a river that runs through it.
I got you. I feel that. I ain't been up to Monroe or West Monroe in a long time, but it's nice up there though.
Oh, maybe we can get you up here sometimes. We'll kill you in a horror movie.
Hey, that that would be cool. I heard y'all killed Zane, so
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, don't tell nobody yet, but yeah. But no, yeah, he was a big sport about it. Got real bloody. We're actually he's about halfway killed, honestly. Um,
oh, all right.
we initiated the kill scene on him when we started shooting the Bog anthology last month, and we have to finish the kill scene here in October when we pick back up to shoot, or August, I mean,
Yeah,
when we pick back up shooting that.
yeah, y'all staying super busy. Was you part of the Sea of Madness 2 production? Well, yeah, Open Heart, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been with Mitch forever, it seems. I guess I met him back in 2007, 8, somewhere around there. And he was working on something back then, the Near to Wells. And I helped him out a little bit there, doing some PA stuff with them. And then probably, we did a lot of music stuff and everything over the years. And I went my own way. We always been friends and stuff. But him and another friend of ours, Chris, asked me to shoot a feature-length film, Unknown Strangers, back in 2000 or so. And ever since then, we've just been putting out basically a movie a year. We just got done. We're in post-production now on Sea of Madness, and that's turning out pretty well. And we've already started early production on the Bog anthology, which would be the third film. It's going to be an anthology movie, though, with 3 short stories.
Oh, oh, all right.
So we kind of broke up the production schedule on that to go ahead and jump in. Really what it was we had the opportunity to have the great Keith Crabtree play a cameo, and we needed to go ahead and get his sequence shot for his benefit. And so we just went ahead and shot some scenes while we were up in Arkansas about a month ago. And so we're going to do it because it's 3 short films, we can do it in that fashion to where we can do it in small chunks. And so, and another thing is, like, part of this is just keeping everybody busy. If we have something else to look forward to in a month or so, everybody stays motivated, including myself.
And
And
stay.
so it's the carrot on the stick kind of thing.
Oh, all right. Stay on task. Stay focused.
Right. But we're all wearing many hats anyway, so it's a lot like it's like a convention of plate spinners. It's like, you just tiptoe through them and everybody's spinning their plates and stuff.
Is
Maybe
that
a guy over in the corner playing the spoons or something like that.
so? So how is it working with Mitch, trying to get your ideas going? Before I even ask that, could you elaborate to me and the listeners what director of photography for films like what do you do on the set per se?
Oh, it's funny because I was talking to Kyle Simpson here. He's with me. He's our lead editor and our post-production manager. And he played the role of Charles Williams in the Bogman as well. That'll be a returning role down the line. And he's a big musical addition to what we do too. And I was telling him the other day that I've done a lot of research on what cinematographers or director of photography, they're basically the same thing in a lot of ways, of what they're supposed to do. And I've worked on, not large budget films, but I was a PA on some real films, back in the day. And I watched, but every time I watched, I usually just watched the camera crew and the director.
Yeah.
And I never really was sure who the cinematographer was at any given time. So I don't really know what they're supposed to do. I mean, I do know, but I don't. I know what I do. And I think that's one day I'm gonna one of my heroes is Sam Raimi and Roger Deakins, and if I got to meet Roger Deakins, I probably wouldn't ask for his autograph. I probably wouldn't ask for a photograph. I would just probably be like, "Can I follow you around for a couple of weeks and just watch you like a fly on a wall?" And that's what I would learn from. But what I basically do is I'm in charge of the camera crews, the camera placement, the set design in some ways, the lighting, setting the mood for each scene, the overseeing those different units that carry out that kind of nature of stuff. Honestly, for the Bogman, I was just a guy in the camera, a guy with a camera in the woods trying to keep up. But for Sea of Madness, we were able to be blessed enough to have such a wonderful growth in our crew that I was able to actually take a step back in a lot of ways and actually do what a cinematographer is supposed to do mainly. And that was an enlightening time for me on the USS Kidd while we were shooting, because honestly, for the first couple of days, I was like, they don't even really need me. And then it dawned on me, I was like, that's not my role anymore. I don't have to be the one holding the camera now every time. I could be working with the guys that do hold the cameras. And that really was a cathartic, fun thing for me during that whole shoot, was getting to work like with guys like Sam McGee and Chase Monson and Adam Harper, who helped us out as far as camera rolls. And so basically, you work with the director and the camera crew, and you're kind of in between to decide what the right takes are, what the right camera angles are, and how the camera moves, and what the lighting is for each scene, and things of that nature. But with our group, everybody wears several hats. So sometimes when Mitch is busy doing other things or handling other aspects of the production, we had to take over each other's roles at times. And so that's basically something that we've kind of grown into and know about, but we're trying to separate our opportunities now.
All right, yeah, because Mitch acts in most of the films too. So is that with that being said, is that like, do y'all ever like bump heads when it comes to like, hey, trying to give Mitch like an idea when he's in the acting part, and you're like
You
sitting
know,
back and like directing, like, hey, Mitch, even though you know you're the director, but you know in this particular thing you might could do this better. Is that ever a thing that happens between y'all?
that's a really good question, especially for us, because honestly, I was kind of like concerned about that when I started on shooting Unknown Strangers with him, because he was an actor in Unknown Strangers, and that was pretty much it. And then when we did Bogman, he was the director, but he was also one of the lead roles. So at times when I would be behind the camera, he would get done with a take where there were like four other characters in the scene, and he would like look at me and be like, hey, I guess I'm doing pretty good because I'm not getting any direction or anything. And I kind of winked at him and I was like, Mitch, man, I would go and tell the other actors in the scene, because he was just knocking it out of the park mostly, because at times he was the most seasoned actor sometimes. And so I was like, I can't really worry about you too much. But we've never really butted heads. It's something we often have a good respect and relationship with each other, that we offer ideas to each other. And I don't know that I've ever had a disagreement with him about anything. I mean, there are things like I really have a good idea and he'll take it, or vice versa. But one of us usually comes around and says, oh, that is a good idea, but let's just do it this way, and I don't know. It's something I'm very grateful for in a lot of ways, not just for him, but just that we have a really, really good, we both see the same things a lot of times. So we're really blessed in that manner. I really don't, like I said, I don't think we've ever really had a disagreement about anything. I hope it continues that way, because we both, and other people on the set too, as other people in the crew too, it's almost like a spiritual journey a lot, because everybody's often thinking the same thing. And we have an open door policy with our crew and stuff, even all the way down to anybody that's setting up lights or moving extension cords or anything. If they have a good idea, or if they have an idea, we want to hear it. We might not use that idea, but usually that idea sparks another idea that might be even better. And so a lot of what we do in our guerrilla style of filmmaking, it helps us in a lot of ways. So that's something I'm very grateful for in that.
You said guerrilla style. What is
Yeah.
that
Well,
necessarily?
oftentimes we have a set amount of we have a plan and we have a script and we have a call list and a shot list and everything. But oftentimes we have to attack it as we have a limited amount of time on whatever location we're shooting at. We have a limited amount of time for the crew or the cast that's available to be there. So we have to really just attack what we shoot in a guerrilla style kind of fashion. We just jump on it and pound it to death and into submission, until we get the shots and everything we need. And so it's not necessarily where we always want to be at, but it's where we had to start in order to get the Bogman finished. And honestly, moving into Sea of Madness, we have shed some of those corner cutting methods, but we're still at the mercy of that in a lot of ways. Budget constraints, time constraints, costume and makeup issues, or things of that nature. We just have to navigate pretty quickly. We have to make decisions really quickly. And so we're trying to, shift into a more I guess a more orthodox way of shooting things, but we're just not quite there yet. But I think in a lot of ways that's what gives us our character.
Yeah, I feel that definitely. With going from like the Bogman movie to the Sea of Madness movie, what are some different like troubles that you had during the filming process, like setting up and stuff? Is there any like things that you ran into that you gained experience from for future sets and future
Oh,
new
definitely.
movies?
Yes, I'm learning all the time. The shoots for the Bogman and Sea of Madness were similar in a lot of ways, but they're really different in a lot of ways too. Because for the Bogman, we were doing weekend shoots, three-day weekend shoots over a period of a month and a half, and so we had time in between each shoot or each location to develop and let everything sink in before you went back to shooting again. And with Sea of Madness, because we were grateful and blessed enough to be able to shoot on the USS Kidd, we only had only a allotted amount of time on that vessel. So basically, for Sea of Madness, we shot pretty much the entirety of that movie, other than a couple of weekends, within 7-8 days, maybe. Yeah, we had 8 days on the Kidd, and so it was a real eye opener as far as like every morning we were shooting, some 10, 14-hour days, 16-hour days, one or two of them. And these are days actually going through the night because we weren't able to get on the vessel until after 3:30 in the afternoon. And then sometimes we would shoot all the way through until like 8 in the morning. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a multitude of things that I learned. If I went into them right now, I probably wouldn't stop talking for a while. But yeah, always learning. I learned so much, and we had the best thing I probably learned with Sea of Madness that I didn't really anticipate was having not just help, but super competent help. We had a lot of help on Bogman, and all those people I'm grateful for. But it just seemed to really manifest and double in size as far as the contributions of people like Moji and Adam, all the actors really, a lot of our crew. They just really took the tip of the spear approach, and I got to delegate a little more than I usually am used to, and I got to at times just sit back and watch people surprise me with their creativity, especially people like Sam McGee and Chase Monson and Adam Harper, a guy named Maximilian, a guru. Really just learned a lot from all of them, and I'm looking forward to learning every day. In the stuff that we were already planning next, I've already me and Mitch both have seeing how we can make things better each time. And that's what our goal was to start off with. So it's good to be on the right track with all that.
That's great. It's I hear when I talk to Mitch and then talking to you, it's always y'all talk about everybody else all the time. Y'all make sure to give flowers, and that's wonderful. And the open door policy you have too. That it shows a lot. It shows a lot of maturity, and y'all coming together and pushing everybody forward. It's great. It's great stuff.
Well, yeah, it really is. And it's something that we set out to try to do, but yet in a way it just does its own self now. We don't even have to put much effort into it. It's like the wheel's already there. And when people come in, we're getting new people involved every day almost, or every week coming up with the things that we're doing. And, yeah, that's the reason we're called Open Heart Productions. You know, we all rise together. It's an open heart, open arms, open eyes, and that's what we want to keep doing. We wouldn't have the great people that we do have working with us and everything if we took any other approach, I believe. And I don't really think any other approach is possible for me or Mitch. I don't think it's in our DNA. I think that's why me and him have always gotten along really well. And like I was saying earlier, how we've never really argued about anything. We have moments to where we're like, hey, that's a great idea, but it's just not going to work this time, you know? Or he'll say something, and I'm like, yeah, well, the light's not going to work for that. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Or he's like, hey, the one thing we always do agree on for sure is more blood.
You can't never go wrong with that. So
Right, right.
are I don't know where I was going. It's like working in horror films. Is there anything unique that you can tell us about? Like, is it the build up, or is it the gore that really drives the show in your eyes? Or
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
because some horror movies, it ain't really gory, it's more scary. Where some
Right.
of them, they're scary and gory, and some of them it's just pure chaos.
I'd like to think it's like a balance, and that's something we're learning a little bit about each side of it each time. Like when you see Sea of Madness, I think we up that suspense and that tension game that we had in Bogman in organic fashions. But and that was all planned in the script that Mitch wrote. The reason he wrote that way was because in old horror movies and traditional horror movies, you have tropes, and a lot of modern horror movies try to twist those or dispel them or do other things with them. And when he wrote the Bogman script, he wanted it to be very lean into the tropes, and that's kind of how we try to adapt it. And so the script for that was crucial in helping in that fashion. I like both sides of the stuff. I like the lead up to the scare, and I like the gore. I love gore. I love blood. I love that that kill off camera that you don't have to show, but even the shadow stuff and things like that. I'm a big
All
hot
right.
Hitchcock fan, and I love that suspense. But I'm slowly getting better at that, I think, and that's the goal. I'm not quite there yet. I don't think that any of us really are, but we have so many really capable and creative people involved in all this stuff, and I think we're getting there. Especially with Sea of Madness. I like when we were shooting down at the Kid in Baton Rouge. After like the third day, me and Mitch actually sat down and had a little talk for a little bit, and we didn't have much time for that, but we got to sitting there talking, and we were like, it's like we walked in on the first floor, and all of a sudden we're stepping out on the third floor of the elevator, and we don't remember getting on the elevator. That's how much I think we've increased the value of the production, really. It's going to be a good step up. I think the stories for both Bogman and Sea of Madness are very, very good on both sides, but the final product's going to be a lot better for Sea of Madness.
And when are y'all aiming to release Sea of Madness?
It will be released by Green Apple Entertainment in October of this year, hopefully about a week or so before Halloween, maybe around Halloween.
Okay, cool.
We're aiming to release each one of these films in October every year for the next 9-10 years.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this is a whole monster universe. It's called the BCU. It's the Bog Creature Universe, and it's a creature feature a year that rolls out, and they're all interconnected. They're character sequels. Kyle here that played Charles Williams in the Bogman, his character will be returning for a brief stint in the next film, the Bog Anthology, the third film, and then from there, other characters from the previous films will also be returning in different ways, and you're going to have a different monster each time,
All right.
or a different creature, or something of that level.
All right.
We have in the Bog Anthology, we have the first story is called the Bog Manifest, and it's going to be like the 1800s Bigfoot. And then the next story is called Face the Music, and it's a phenomenon kind of short, but it does introduce our villain for the fourth film, the Honey Hole, which is a evil jinn that's been out of his bottle for about 200-300 years, and he's been living like a human. And
Well, that sounds
then the
intense
third,
already.
yeah, that one's going to be wild. The third installment in the Bog Anthology is the Rake monster. It's an episode with the crew all together again, the TV show crew, and they're investigating the Rake out on this guy's land, and that all leads into Honey Hole, and then after Honey Hole, I think is the Chupacabra movie, and then a movie called Rules That Apply to the Abduction. And that's going to be an alien-esque kind of film. And really, by that film, everything's busting loose and getting really wild. We have the world gets so much bigger at that point. And then there's like 4 or 5 other ones after that. So,
Well, y'all definitely got y'all's hand full. I'm ready for Sea of Madness. Now there's a whole bunch of more I'm ready for, especially the
right.
Gin and Chupacabra.
Yeah. It's like it's going to be awesome. Get in on the ground level, and that's what we're hoping for, because it's almost like we're sitting at this little mountaintop that we're on, and we're just gathering up snow and letting snowballs start rolling.
Yeah.
And by the time the 5th or 6th one's released, hopefully everybody will go back, and if they catch one of them, they'll go back and watch all the ones previous to it, and hopefully that'll catch some nostalgia in them, because each one of these is going to be kind of a grindhouse kind of approach, kind of how Bogman was, with the film grain and the film burns and the missing reel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it's something that a lot of people aren't doing because they want everything so crisp and clear all the time. But in horror movies, I think it's ideal to go this route because it gives it a culture, to me, a good texture.
Yeah.
And Kyle's a lot
sure.
responsible for that as far as the edit of the Bogman. I think that really kind of set the first nail for us all as far as, getting the curtains put up and everything, or the paneling or whatever.
Man, so depth, so much knowledge, so much insight. It's so great.
Well, we're fortunate enough to have Green Apple Entertainment, and they basically provided us. They're trying to start their own horror section in their movies, and basically with our contract with them, it's kind of like as long as we provide them with a horror movie every year, they're going to give us distribution, and that's our huge motivation in order to do all these. So that's really our big thing, really, as far as why we're still pushing forward. Because a lot of people hear what we're doing and they're like, "Man, you're pretty. You think you're going to be able to do all that?" And we're like, "Well, yeah, because they're waiting for it." And that it's the carrot on the stick thing again.
Yeah. Well, you said Kyle's with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind if I speak to Kyle for a little bit?
Go ahead. Go ahead. By all means, I'd love to. Rest my voice for a minute.
I was looking for little places I could sneak in, but he did a great job answering all the questions.
Yeah, my bad. I can go on for forever talking, but gotta get y'all in because don't got much. I got about 20 minutes left. So Kyle, I'm gonna start off. How did you become the lead actor of Bogman?
Well, that's a funny story. We had another guy set up for the role, and he couldn't make it, honestly. And Mitch came to me and he was like, "Hey, do you want to play a little small role in this movie that we're about to film?" And I said, "Sure, I could play a little small role." And then a few months later, he hands me the script, and I start reading, and I realize this isn't a small role at all. This is a pretty big role. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're going to be the star. You're going to be the dad." That I said, "Oh, okay." So I just kind of was head first into it at that point, and it was a fun experience. It was a big learning curve for me. I've never acted before. I've only edited on these movies, and it was fun to get in that side of it as well.
So as an actor, so it was the Bogman your first lead role, or have
Oh, it
you?
was first lead role, first any role.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So you
He's
really
a
did
great
just dive
musician
in
that's
there.
played a
That's
lot of
cool.
live shows though, so he had knowledge and experience of being in front of people doing his talents and stuff. He just didn't know he had that talent yet. You know?
It's something to add to the resume.
So with your music, are you a solo artist, or do you have a band or a group that you perform with?
Well, I started out being in bands with Mitch back in the day, and then I moved on to singing for a few bands. And these days, I'm actually doing music on my own. I just released a 12-song album last month. It's on all streaming services.
What's it called?
It's self-titled.
Yeah.
It's just my name.
Yeah.
And the theme song to the Bogman's actually on there, "Chasing Bogman."
It was a Sasquatch in My Shower song.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So with that style of music, are you on your EP, the 12 songs, are they heavy? Are
Yeah,
they're
they're
all
a little
rock
heavier.
songs?
Yeah, kind of Metallica meets modern day.
Ah, cool, cool.
This next song that he did for Sea of Madness, though, it's kind of a break away from that in a lot of ways, and it's going to be just as powerful. Really, you're going to really dig it.
I can't wait to hear it.
We'll send you a copy soon.
All right, for sure. So with this being Kyle, with this being your first acting role or doing any acting, what did you enjoy the most about the Bogman movie and being the lead actor?
Well, to me, it was a lot of excitement and a lot of feeding off each other. There were some scenes where Mitch and I got in not actual fights, but fights in the movie itself, that he would say something and then I would feed off of his fake anger. And it just, you can just feel the energy on set. It's really great. I mean, and I'm sure it was the same way on Sea of Madness as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that spurred people to, because there's people that didn't know you, that were acting in that movie, that had watched Bogman, and they were aware of your character and the plots of all this. And so I think in a lot of, especially like Jeff, and he's still playing his character, and a lot of it's, they, in those characters, they remember, their past and stuff. And then when you're coming back around in Bog Anthology, it's going to be a treat to see that rehashed and future films as well. Every one of these characters has a huge arc of their own throughout this universe. So like
Yeah, they really evolve, grow some depth.
Richard Henderson's character, the Clark, he has a massive arc that is of its own, and just like everybody else. And so that's something we're starting to realize more and more as far as each one of these scripts get developed and stuff.
All right. So Kyle, with being the post-production manager, what does that entail specifically?
Well, see, Mitch gave us the rough cut, and then we got all the footage, and we basically completely rebuilt his rough cut with the best versions of all the shots, and then went back through, synced up all the audio, the correct audio, and then we're going to start adding in the special effects and do the coloring and all that kind of stuff. And then I've also done the credits for both the intro of the movie and the outro of the movie, and a little bit of the music, just sound effects. We just try to get it all one big, complete, hit you in the face movie.
So have you ever ran into, when you're in the post-production part of the film, and say with Bogman, and you were the lead actor, did you run across some spots in like when the post production going, oh man, I wish I could have done this better, or maybe beefed it up a little bit more? Have you ever?
Oh, most definitely, definitely. But the cool thing about it is it actually worked out kind of in favor of the movie because as my acting went on and got a little bit better through the movie, it was like my character was evolving through the movie to be a different person, and he kind of becomes the hero at the end in a way. And so it kind of fit. It was just kind of luck more than anything.
Very kismet. Very kismet.
That's what's up.
He eventually, a lot of these roles that we have for the people that we have as far as our team and stuff like that, we're all kind of just learning these roles because oftentimes we share all these hats for the Bogman and stuff. So in the long road, though, eventually he's going to be overseeing the post-production process of all our films, all the way through the edit, and working with people like Chris Lyons, Zane. I believe you know Zane.
Yeah, I know. Shout
Zane's
out
going to be
Zane.
doing sound to us and working with people, Jordan Alexander and Adam Harper, who are also doing the Foley and the score for the Sea of Madness, and working with a lot of folks like that to oversee the process of the post production as a whole. And we'll get better as we go, but we're placing these now. Sharina will be a big part of that as well, and in a lot of facets, just being the production manager and working with Richard Henderson and even Eric Lepp, who's our locations manager, and Adam Bass as well. He's going to be essential down the road in a lot of these processes. So there's several people I'm not thinking of their names. Greg Stover was a big help during the shoot. Jeremy Harrington and Katie Harrington, essential, amazing people. So many that came forward that just, some people were always here. And then we got these new people like Maximilian Hatcher. We were shooting Sea of Madness in Baton Rouge on the ship, and Max just lives around there, and apparently he saw a Facebook post about how a movie was being shot on the kid, and he just shows up and it's like, hey, can I help? And we're like, yeah, come on. And this dude was a genius, so much of help. He was very essential, and we had to go back to the kid in February for 2 days to do pickup stuff, and he actually housed us all.
Word.
So just amazing stuff, amazing people, and I love them all. I mean, they're just, and I can't wait to see where we're all going.
It's one of those situations where it wouldn't have worked out the way it did without everybody that we have.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a lot of moving parts, and if one of those parts was out of place, it probably wouldn't be anywhere near as good.
They say that saying, there's no small parts, just small actors. And really in our house, there's no small parts and there's no small actors because everybody does so much. And a lot of times at their own, it's costing them in some fashion, either money or time or effort and energy. But it's really a cool thing to be a part of. It's the funnest thing about what we're doing, to me anyway.
That's great. And I know the listeners already checked out Bogman, and I know the listeners are going to check out Sea of Madness, but we are running out of time, guys. Y'all are always welcome back on the show and in person. Me and Kobe are going to have to make a trip up to Monroe, West Monroe, and come see y'all in person, because it's been a while.
Definitely.
I ain't never met Mitch in person, but we've had him on the show a couple of times.
Right.
And so we got to make something shake. But do y'all have any?
We'll have some drinks or something.
Come up and do a podcast up here. Bring your gear with you. Well,
oh yeah, we're pretty mobile. Our whole setup runs off solar power, so.
But we can't get. We could probably get down to you guys sometime this year too. Maybe we can bring a few people with us.
Oh, the more the merrier. I think we can hold up to six mics. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we got a plan. We'll get the whole bog crew in there.
Yeah, that would be dope. But do y'all have any, at the end of the show, we do words of wisdom. Do y'all have any words of wisdom y'all would like to leave with the listeners?
Well, just whenever you have the opportunity to do what you feel like your heart is, what you're here to do, chase it.
And give it your all.
Yeah. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have a calling in life, a calling is a very powerful thing. And if you're lucky enough to have a calling in life and you have the actual ability to carry out that calling, do it. Don't let anybody stop you. As you trying to do it, the universe and God and the world is going to give you the means to do it. And it's going to be in the craziest ways. It's not always going to be what you think. So you can't have expectations. You just got to do what you love and keep doing it. And it'll work out.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. That's exactly what I was thinking too, strangely enough.
Yeah.
I can tell y'all are definitely synced up for sure. Everybody in the whole Open Heart production crew.
Well, thank you. We consider y'all part of that now, if you don't realize it or not.
I appreciate that. We going hey, I appreciate
Honorary
y'all
member.
joining the show. You know,
Thank you so much.
It's
Yeah, thank you.
definitely a thing we've been doing for like 4 or 5 years now, but slow process, slow growth. Just keep on keeping on.
Right.
But
No, I enjoy it. I've watched several of your interviews outside of the ones that I found out about y'all through Mitch, but I went back and watched several of them and listened to several of them. They're really good. Y'all do a great job. Good job on your interviews, good questions, and good culture you're building, especially representing the Gulf Coast and South Louisiana like that.
yes, sir, the third coast. Someone's got to do it. Why not be us? And plus,
Definitely.
we love to talk, so it works out perfectly. But thank y'all so much for joining the show, and I guess I'll talk to y'all later. I'll send y'all a text about when it's going to be out on the platforms and stuff, so y'all can be able to stream it and tell everybody about it.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Can't wait to meet you. Appreciate you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
Check out the Bogman on all the streaming stuff. It's on Pluto, Plex,
Tubi,
YouTube, and
It's
the
on
Gago app.
it's on Amazon Prime.
It's on Prime as well.
Yeah.
And you can also access it on Apple TV too, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, just check out the Bogman there and wait for Sea of Madness to come, and we'll be pumping out Bog Anthology soon after that next year.
We're getting close.
And the road's just wide open from there.
We'll have to do another editing session here when we get off the phone.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, y'all going
Thanks,
into
man.
the grind.
Yeah, well, we are. Appreciate you very much. You have a good one now.
Y'all too.
Thank you.
Oh, and make sure to check out Third Coast Podcast on 5000ws.thirdcoastpodcast.com. Go to the TCP playlist, click play, and stream through hundreds of Artists of the Week that we have hosted on the show throughout the process. This has been a good time. Cross your fingers. This actually worked this time, and the recording's on here. I really hope so. But check out this great music from Kyle Simpson. And we are out. What it do, Gators?
There's a Sasquatch in my shower, and it's really quite the pain, because he's been there for an hour, and his hands clogged up the drain, peeling off the bathroom tiles, and he's eating the bathroom grout. There's a Sasquatch in my shower, and I've got to get him out. He's running, he's hiding. Now I've got to find him. He's running, he's hiding. Oh, now I've got to find him. He's running, he's hiding. I've got to find him. He's running, he's hiding. Now I've got to find him. Chasing the legend from its past. Chasing the beast and chasing it fast. Chasing the stories across our land. We're chasing Bogman. Chasing the legend from its past. Chasing the beast and chasing it fast. Chasing the stories across our land. We're chasing Bogman. There's a Sasquatch in my shower. How he got there, I don't know. But I haven't got the power to convince this brute to go. And he's used up all the water. And he's drinking my shampoo. There's a Sasquatch in my shower. And I don't know what to do. He's running, he's hiding. Now I've got to find him. He's running, he's hiding. Oh, now I've got to find him. He's running, he's